I used to say my past was boring with a few dumb chapters, like a diet soda version of the truth. Clean label, artificial aftertaste. The dumbest chapter didn't even feel like a chapter when it happened. It was just a night that got away from me. Sophomore year, a rented house behind Greek Row, cheap vodka in a Tide Pod bowl, me in a glitter halter that looked braver than I felt. I don't have to spell it out. The video does that for me. Blurry phone footage, me on a couch, three guys cycling through a bad idea like it was a relay. I was old enough to know better and young enough to be flattered by attention that looked like belonging. I told myself it was sealed in 2016, locked in dead phones and defunct group chats. Then, last month, my fiancé's phone buzzed while we were picking linens for our April wedding, and he went silent in the way that means something broke you can't hear yet. "Jules," he said, and showed me a link on his screen.
No caption.
No context. Just a Google Drive folder called Campus Classics from an email we didn't recognize. "Don't click that," I said, because panic makes you sound parental. He clicked. There I was, a version of me without taxes or back pain or a calendar, a girl who mistook a dare for a decision. The angle left nothing to defend. The audio left nothing to misinterpret. Liam didn't swear. He didn't throw the phone or ask how. He watched for 3 seconds. Long enough to know it was me and not long enough to humiliate either of us. And then he put the phone face down on the sample book. "What am I looking at?" he asked, and I heard the most dangerous word in that sentence. "Something stupid," I said, which is what people call things that were voluntary but regrettable. "When?" he asked. 9 years ago, I said. Before I moved here.
Before you.
Before my last job. Before everything. He breathed out a slow count to 4 the therapist taught him for anxiety. "Have you told me about this?" he asked, and that question was a scalpel. I had told him my number over wine one night like we were swapping baseball stats. I picked a figure that sounded adult but modest, honest but not alarming. I told him about 2 boyfriends and a phase that I described as messy without details. I did not tell him that messy included an inside joke at my own expense that lasted exactly 1 night and 1,000 years. "Not in this detail," I said. Cowardice is so polite when it talks. He nodded once. Then he did the thing that hurt more than any explosion could have. He shut the laptop catalog, pushed his chair back from the table of napkins, and said, "We're going home." In the car, I tried to fill the silence with context like bubble wrap. It was before consent classes were a thing. We were drunk. I was trying to impress girls who never learned my last name. It wasn't who I really am. It wasn't who I am now. He gripped the wheel at 10 and 2 and said, "I am not your jury." At home, he put the phone on the counter like it might catch fire. "Who sent that?" he asked. "I don't know," I said. Then, because truth is contagious once you start, probably someone from school. There was a rumor a guy backed up party videos to drive. I didn't think. "That the internet is forever?" he said, not unkindly, like a teacher reviewing a core concept. He poured water and didn't touch it. "I don't need to litigate 19-year-old you," he said. "I need to know if 30-year-old you has told me the truth. Because I built a future on what you told me. And now I'm looking at a variation I didn't sign up to be surprised by." "It was 1 night," I said. "I swear. I'm not." I stopped before I said that kind of girl, because I knew better than to insult the past me to rescue the present one. "It's not the sex," he said, and I believed him, because I have watched him be kind to people who don't live like him. "It's the story. It's the way you curated a version of yourself for me, because you didn't trust me with the whole thing." "I didn't want to lose you," I said. "You didn't want to risk me choosing you with the truth," he said. Then, gentle as a verdict, "I can't marry a pitch." He didn't wait for a fight. He opened a notes app and wrote a list called Next Steps like a man who has had his heart broken and still has to pay bills. Call venue. Request cancellation policy. Photographer. Email to release date. Ask about credit transfer. Ring. Conditional gift. Return with both of us present. Guests. Draft message. Send tonight. Family. Tell them together, tomorrow. Video. Help Jules file takedown. Do not share. No commentary. You're canceling our wedding because of a video from college? I asked, fighting for the wrong headline. I'm canceling our wedding because you edited yourself for 2 years, he said. And because I asked about that messy phase 3 times, and you told me what you thought I could forgive instead of what was true.
He handed me his phone with the list.
You can add to it, he said. But the core can't change. I tried the angles people try when they are cornered by their own omissions. Would it matter if it were just one guy? I asked. He flinched like the question itself missed the point. It would matter if you had told me, he said. That's what would matter. We called the venue. Liam handled it like he was rescheduling a meeting, not untangling a life. We need to cancel. We understand the deposit is forfeited. Please send the release. He forwarded me the confirmation, CC'd to my mother because she'd been our point of contact, and typed, "Thank you for everything. We're grateful for your time." He emailed the photographer, "Please release April 18th. We won't be moving forward. If we can transfer our retainer to another couple, we'd love to." She wrote back within 10 minutes, compassionate in a way that made my throat ache. At the jeweler, he asked them to make the refund in my name. "It's a conditional gift," he said to the clerk before I could cringe. The condition isn't happening. She should get the refund. He had looked it up. Of course he had. And not weaponized it. When we got home, he drafted a message to our guests so clean it read like a sterile drape. "We're calling off the wedding. We're grateful for your love. Please cancel travel. We hope to return your gifts or redirect them with your permission." He resisted every temptation to editorialize. He didn't text his brother with a screenshot. He didn't call my maid of honor and ask who still talks to who. He didn't post. He did one thing for me I couldn't have done for myself. He opened a new tab and searched revenge porn removal and non-consensual distribution law for our state. He found the Attorney General's page and a nonprofit that helps with takedown requests. He filled out the form with me, attached the link, wrote depicted person, and put his own email in the CC field so I wouldn't have to watch my inbox for a ping from hell. He wrote, "Please remove this content," and nothing else. He didn't moralize. He reported. That night, we slept on opposite sides of the bed like roommates who were once brave enough to promise things. In the morning, we drove to his parents' house and sat at their kitchen table like kids and told them we weren't getting married. He didn't tell them why. When his mother asked if I was okay, he said, "We both will be," which is a sentence only good men say while they're bleeding. My mother cried the way moms cry when the dress has already been altered. She asked, aggressively helpful, "Is this because of your past?" And I wanted to crawl into the tile. Liam put his hand on the table and said, "It's because of the present." He left me space to own it or not. I wasn't brave. I wasn't anything. I was a person who had curated herself into a corner. I filed a takedown with the platform. I emailed the old friend who had been the likely archivist. He'd met me in 2017, drunk, and said, "Remember that night?" And wrote, "Take it down, or I file a police report." He wrote back, "Chill," like a man whose empathy died in the group text. I sent the AG's link and CC'd the nonprofit. The video disappeared within 2 days, which is to say I can't find it, and the people who want to hurt me probably still can. On day 3, Liam moved to his brother's place. He took his records, his plants, and the ceramic bowl we use for keys. He left the coffee grinder because he knows I can't function without the smell. He took photos of the furniture we'd split for the mediator. He labeled boxes with my name where he'd packed my things so I wouldn't accuse him later of hiding anything. He left a note on the counter that said, "Please don't argue," with the calendar. It's the only witness that never lies. If you're waiting for a twist where he forgives me at the last second because he realizes youthful sins aren't prophetic, this isn't that story. Liam didn't leave because of a number. He left because I rounded my past down and expected him to pay the difference. He left because every time he asked for honesty, I gave him a press release. He left because the woman he planned to marry turned out to be a pitch deck with feelings. People have asked me if he overreacted. I think about the question, in quiet rooms. I imagine being on the other end. Answering a question about my fiancé's messy phase, being told a version, building a life on it, and then being blindsided by new footage that doesn't merely raise the number, it changes the genre. Would I marry a person who told me a curated story because she was scared I would reject the uncut one? Maybe. Maybe not. Would I want my future kids to learn what honesty means from the way we began?
No. He won.
If there's a scoreboard in Heartbreak, he put up points I didn't even know counted. He didn't blast a link. He didn't ask my family to unlove me. He didn't make a Reddit post. He handled the unromantic logistics with the same steady hand he used to open doors and change flat tires and remember my coffee order. He returned the ring like a gentleman and canceled a party without turning me into a party trick. I kept the apartment for now. I took my dress to the consignment boutique and stood there while a stranger with kind eyes unzipped the garment bag and said, "Someone will love this." I started counseling and said the sentence all the way. I lied about who I was so a good man would choose me. The therapist didn't flinch. She asked me who taught me that love is a brand, and I said, Instagram and fear. She asked if I wanted to learn a different definition. The video isn't my whole story. It is a true page I ripped out and hid, and that matters more than I told myself it did. I don't judge 19-year-old me as hard as I did that first day. She was drunk on attention and cheap vodka and the illusion that the future is far away. I judge 30-year-old me for underestimating a man who would have listened and for deciding I'd rather be adored for a version than known for the whole. If you need an ending, the takedown stuck, at least where most people look. The venue kept half the deposit and wished us well. The photographer transferred our credit to another couple and sent me a note that said, "You're still worthy of beautiful photos." Liam unfollowed me on everything and kept our friends by refusing to draft anyone. He took his dignity and a ceramic bowl and left me with peace I didn't deserve and a lesson I did. I keep thinking about the list he wrote the first night. How video. Help Jules file takedown. Do not share. No commentary sat under ring and venue like a task and not a weapon. That's the difference between being a good man and being a headline. He refused to make me content. He chose character instead, even when mine made an exit. I'm not asking for him back. I'm asking for a life where I don't have to be edited to be chosen. The next person who asks for my story will get the whole thing, bad angles and all. If he stays, it will be because he can love a person, not a pitch. If he leaves, it won't be because I sold him a version. It will be because he looked at the truth and decided it wasn't his. That's a loss I can respect. For now, I make coffee in the grinder he left and answer emails from a nonprofit asking if I want to help other women file takedowns. I say yes. I don't know the internet my past, but I owe myself a future built on sentences that don't need footnotes. And when a friend whispers, "Do you think he overreacted?" I say, "He reacted to the story I gave him, which wasn't all of me." Then I stop talking because more words won't fix the part one broke with a lack of them.